Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. This is a short clip I found of King Fahd, one of the previous kings of Saudi Arabia, who describes his meeting or interaction with the leader of China, the Chinese leader who visited the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So let's just have a quick listen to what he says.
مرة شيء يذكر رئيس جمهورية الصين الوطنية زار المملكة العربية السعودية وكان يتكلم مع الملك خالد الله يرحمه، وزار بعد على وقت الملك فيصل. فبعد الحديث أمر علي الملك إني أروح مع أوصل إلى مكان معدل للسكن. يقول له أنا في السيارة بواسطة المترجم قال أنا أبى أطلب منكم طلب وأنت يمكن تستغرب منه.
All right, so King Fahd, rahimahullah, here was talking about an incident where the leader of China was visiting King Khalid of Saudi Arabia at the time. And that's the king that preceded King Fahd. And he actually says it could have actually even been during the time of King Faisal. But anyway, the point is he was in the car with the Chinese leader, being responsible for him, like taking him to his, delivering him to his accommodation or residence in Saudi Arabia. So between them was a translator. And the Chinese leader speaking through his translator, said to King Fahd, who wasn't at the time the king, he said, I'm going to tell you something. I'd like to request something from you.
هذا هو مسيحي. على كل حال الشيء اللي استغرب منه يمكن له جواب، ما في شيء ما له جواب.
Interestingly, by the way, is that this Chinese leader happened to be a Christian, right? So King Fahd, when asked, I'm going to ask something from you, he says, okay, well, let me see what he has to say. I'll answer him.
قال أطلب منكم أن تكثروا من الدعاة اللي يدعون للعقيدة الإسلامية.
He said, so the Chinese leader said to King Fahd at the time, my request to you is that you increase the number of people that you send out calling to Islam, that call to the Islamic belief system, عقيدة الإسلامية.
وأرجو أن يكونون عندهم إلمام باللغة الإنجليزية.
On top of that, I hope that these du'at, these people that you send out that give da'wah to Islam, that they are also good and give importance to the speaking of English, that they give da'wah using the English language.
نحن في حاجة إلى دعاة يدعون للعقيدة الإسلامية. نريد أن يكون للمسلمين دور.
So he said, we are in need, right? We are in need of Muslims to give da'wah to Islam. Let me hear that one more time. I'll go back 10 seconds.
الإنجليزية. نحن في حاجة إلى دعاة يدعون للعقيدة الإسلامية. نريد أن يكون للمسلمين دور. سألت باب السؤال.
So again, he said that we are in need of Muslims to give da'wah to Islam. And we want for the Muslims to have a role in this.
رجل مسيحي قلت والله هذا يا فلان استغرب هذا الطلب، هل هو مجامل منك وانك تدرك ان المملكه العربيه السعوديه هي في الله انعم عليها واكرمها ان تكون في خدمه الاسلام والمسلمين وجعلها في خدمه الحرمين في خدمه مكه والمدينه.
So he says that this question took me by surprise. I was wondering what kind of a question is this? This man, this Chinese leader who happens to be a Christian, and he's asking me to help spread Islam. Is he kind of just trying to be overly friendly here? In Arabic you'd say mujamala. He's trying to just say words to impress me. Or does he really see something in us that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, it has a leading role in the Muslim ummah, it serves the Muslims by way of the Hajj and preserving Mecca and Medina, etc.
ليس مجاملة. الشيء الوحيد اللي ممكن يحمانا من الشيوعية هي العقيدة الإسلامية.
So the Chinese leader said, no, I'm not saying this out of, like mujamala. I don't know how to translate that word for word. He says, I'm not saying that out of mujamala. In reality, the one and only thing that can deal with our problem of communism is Islam. The one thing that can deal with communism is Islam.
هذا قلت أنتم مسيحيين؟ قال نعم مسيحيين، لكن عندنا عدد كبير من الشيوعيين. ما في شيء الآن يسري بشكل قوي جدا مثل العقيدة الإسلامية.
So King Fahd said, but you're Christian. He said, so the Chinese leader said, yes, we're Christians, but we have like vast numbers of communists. And the one thing that can deal with the communists is Islam. Let me just rewind a bit more.
عندنا عدد كبير من الشيوعيين. ما في شيء الآن يسري بشكل قوي جدا مثل العقيدة الإسلامية.
Yeah, so he said that. So the Chinese leader again, he said, yes, we're Christians, but we have a vast number of, like a large number of communists, and there's nothing that has the strength to spread quickly and oppose this communism like Islam.
قلت ليه؟ قال أنا طلعت وقرأت يعني بقدر ما حصلت عليه. ما في فضائل مثل ما موجود في العقيدة الإسلامية.
So King Fahd said, why is that? Why do you say that? And the Chinese leader said, look, I've read extensively and I've not found anything that has the virtues and can stand up to anything the way Islam can.
هذا رئيس جمهورية الصين الوطنية.
So King Fahd said, this is what was said to me by the leader of the state of China. What do you call it? Republic of China? I don't know what it was in those days. Well, now, if you compare that to today we have the Chinese are completely communist, aren't they? But at the time, the Chinese leader was a Christian. And he requested the Muslims, or Saudi Arabia in particular, to spread the correct aqidah of Islam. Subhanallah, what do you see from this? A number of points. That world leaders recognize the potency and virtues of Islam. World leaders, they recognize it, they see it. World leaders who are Christian recognize this. And what they've understood is that there's nothing that can stand up to the forces of, I'm going to say evil, okay, but things like socialism and communism and whatever else is out there, nothing can stand up to it like Islam can, including liberalism. Islam is the one force that can combat all of the problems of our world today. Okay, so this wasn't a Muslim saying it, it was the leader of China, of all countries, China. Anyhow, have a think about that. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.